Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to explain my views on immigration and why I view it as a very beneficial thing. So to begin with, the government has no moral right to interfere with immigration. It's individuals who just want to cross the border and make a better life for themselves for the most part. So as the government, I don't think you have a right to tell them, no, you have to stop and you can't come in and try to improve your life. And you also have no right to tell a business, no, you can't hire these workers from another country. American workers are entitled to these jobs. That's a terrible way to look at things. Nobody is entitled to a job. A job is an interaction between an employer and an employee who are deciding that this is the best option for both of them, so then they decide to agree on a wage, and yeah. So the government has no right to interfere with that. Now, obviously, there's some caveats to this. If a immigrant is bringing a disease into the country, or if they're a violent criminal who's gonna bring force into our society, or if they're a terrorist, you obviously can't let those people in. Or if we're at war with the country that the immigrants are coming from, then obviously we can't let those type of people in. But in general, I'd say let as many immigrants in as possible, because the more immigrants we let in, the better off we will be, because we'll have more workers, we'll have more people here to work and produce, and yeah, in general, that's a very, very good thing. Next, immigrants are a lot less likely to commit crime than normal Americans, and this is something that people who talk about who are anti-immigration talk about a lot. They like to make the argument that immigrants are criminals and we just need to keep them out. Actually, when you look at the studies out there, there's this one study by Cato that I talk about quite a bit that just shows that native-born people are a lot more likely to commit crimes than legal immigrants and illegal immigrants. Now, some people would argue, oh, but these illegal immigrants are breaking the law by coming in. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about violent crimes. We're not talking about this law that shouldn't even be a law. I'm advocating for a different immigration program. So to say that this is the law right now is a terrible argument that it just doesn't make any sense, because I'm advocating for a new law. So to say that, oh, we have to enforce these immigration laws because they're the laws, I'm arguing that they shouldn't be the laws. So don't make the argument to me that, oh, these are the laws, so we have to follow them. No, we don't. We can change the laws. This is politics. This is what the government is. It changes the laws and makes the laws. So let's change the immigration laws. Now, another argument that people make quite a bit is, oh, but these immigrants are coming from countries where they don't have very free market ideas, so we're just going to let in people who have different ideas than us, and they're going to change the government, and they're going to vote Democrat. Oh shit, we're fucked. But okay, so this is also a very bad way of looking at immigration once again, because what we're advocating for is a free society, a government that judges what people believe and decides on decides on whether they should come in the country based on that. That's not a free society. That's not a free government. It's not you're not advocating for freedom here by saying that the government should judge people based on what they believe. So we have to let these people in, because what tends to happen is when people come to America, they assimilate. So these people will come in and they'll begin to adopt American ideas, and they tend to have more American ideas if they're coming to America. So this idea that they're going to have different ideas from us is it's true to an extent, but it's somewhat wrong. And even if it's true, the government doesn't have a right to judge what a good ideology is and use force on people who have a certain ideology that they view as a bad ideology. So that's pretty much it for the arguments that I view as invalid that the anti-immigration people often give. Now, one argument that I do view that that people who advocate for more border security, more anti-immigration policies, those people will often argue that, oh, but these immigrants are just going to come and take from our welfare state. So this is a tougher argument for me, because I'm not a big fan of the welfare state, and I think if immigrants come in and take advantage of that, that's obviously our tax dollars that are going to these people, and I don't want a welfare state in general. So I think what the main argument should be on that front should be abolishing the welfare state, and not necessarily restricting immigration because it exists. And I'd say what the sort of immigration policy I would advocate for would be one in which immigrants are not allowed to take up from the welfare state until they become citizens. Under the current system, that's what I would advocate for. So ultimately, I'm still a pretty open borders guy in this sense. Not pure open borders, of course, but to an extent. So I think that's all I have to say for today on this topic. Thank you guys for watching. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.